I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller.
Good morning.
You're looking very cozy.
You know, it's all about cozy right now.
With your chenille little black sweater. It's very Anne Margaret.
It's called closet cleaning.
All right.
I just go shopping when I clean my closet.
Out of the closets and into the streets.
Oh my goodness. I own that.
Well,
I should wear it.
I know, you should. It's really cute.
Thank you.
You look very sophisticated and like, again, it's giving me like a little Anne Margaret vibe.
Well, I love that,
like,
Scott. Coming from you, that means a lot to me.
A little sissy paw action, like Anne Margaret does. That whole thing.
If you're watching on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, sissy paws.
Sissy paws.
I love it. It's so pretty out there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I got out of the alley. Let's see how I do backing into the garage.
That's going to be...
Getting out is easy because I back in and just pull out. I got front wheel drive, but maneuvering,
all right, well, good luck with that.
It'll be interesting.
I know those alleyways are not going to be clean for a while.
What about this snow that we've had already? More than we had the entire last year. We're getting payback, right?
Well, yeah, of course. I'm loving it.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know me.
I know. I do and I don't.
I like the snow, and you're like the sun baby. I mean, we're both sun babies, but you just want to be
snowfall.
hot.
I do love snow, but then I'm over it after a couple of days. It's like, okay, you're tracking, and I have to take my shoes off. The minute I hit the door, it's just all the extra machinations of snow everywhere.
Oh, girl, I hear you. I went to try to buy some snow boots today, and I couldn't find. I'm not today. This weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need something.
Yeah.
I need something. And I'm like, I couldn't find anything that was cute.
We didn't even pull them out last year, hardly.
No.
We didn't pull the heavy artillery out last year at all.
I know, but I think we're in for it this year.
Yeah, they predicted it, and I think for once they're probably accurate.
Look, yeah.
But we can handle it. We're Chicagoans.
And we got, the hygge.
The hygge, yeah.
Hygge.
I got my fireplaces. I got my firewood.
Do you have your candles?
We have our candles.
You got your fuzzy sweater.
I got my
Do you have good slippers?
Yes, I do. I have my UGG slippers.
All right. See, you need to get some. I have some emotional slippers.
Emotional slippers?
Yeah, I'm an emotional attachment to them. They were given to me by my friend Rebecca about, oh gosh, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They are disgusting. They are so there's a hole in the toe.
Maybe Santa needs to get you some new slippers.
I put that on a wish list. I have put that on my wish list.
Okay, good.
Already, but they're wonderful. But you got to lean in, again, just kind of embrace, look, it's cold. Let's make some soup.
After I'm home today, we had open house. We're getting busy again. It's crazy.
Well, that's good.
We had an open house yesterday. Kathy's doing one right now. And today, after we're done with the show, it's just the fires at home. Not leaving until
there you go
tomorrow.
Until you need to, yeah.
Until I need to.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, now that we've got you here in studio, it's fantastic. So we've got a great show.
I know we do.
That's going on here. As the holiday season, it's in full swing already. And Grandpa Ding Dong is being as racist and petty as he wants to be.
Doesn't even try to hide it.
Nope. And drunk Uncle Hegseth is proving to be the most unqualified and incompetent person ever appointed to office.
Yep.
So we're going to get into some of those horrible things that are happening in the news and some of the things that hopefully are going to be providing us a little bit of hope, like the LGBTQ plus Victory Institute's 41st International LGBTQ plus Leader Conference that happened this weekend. I am buoyed. I'm buoyed. Give us the queers.
Yes.
Let the queers lead the way.
We will.
Let the queers lead the way. It's fantastic. And then coming up later on the show, star of the Broadway stage and screen and Chicago's very own Anthony Rapp is getting ready for Anthony Rapp Home for the Holidays, an intimate holiday cabaret at Looking Glass Theater. He has recently moved back to Chicago, and we're going to chat with the one and only Anthony Rapp in the second hour.
Smart man,
yes, and I hope he's another one that I hope I don't cry, but I probably will. There we are.
I got a lot of nice compliments on the interview, the Paul Williams interview last week.
Oh.
People just loved it.
It's a good one.
the way you.
Oh well,
reacted.
thank you.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just an emotional mess. Is what I am.
It comes in handy sometimes, like it did for that interview.
I know, right? But there's a brand new venue called Stars and Garters. It's Chicago's premier retro entertainment venue, basically home to Chicago's finest comedy, magic, drag, and burlesque entertainment. All things I love. And Colin Kelty, one of the club's founders, is going to be joining us a little bit later in the show to talk about the new venue and all of the fabulous goings on this holiday season. And of course, we would love to hear from you. So please call or text us at 773-763-9278. The number again is 773-763-9278. And of course, you can listen live every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com, or you can watch the live video stream on the WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page for our Ann Margaret Sissy Paws. There we are. Also, you can make sure you visit the Out Chicago show page to listen on demand to recent interviews and full episodes of the show. Find subscribe links to our full episodes and featured interview podcasts. Read all about us, see our little Out Chicago photo gallery, and much, much more. Just go to heartlandsignal.com/out-chicago. Please like and subscribe. As the kids say.
Please.
And if I feel like leaving a review, a 5-star one would be great. There we are.
And if you're listening, tell your friends about WCPT, because right now, the world we're living in, people need this kind of outlet. They need to hear the voices of the sane people that are out there that we have here on our station.
Yeah, 100%, especially during the week, because we're not exactly sane.
No, we're not. But Joan Esposito is sane, and Patty, and everybody
Richard
else,
Chu.
Richard Chu, and the rest of the gang. So anyway, just spread the love.
Yeah,
it's a good time of year to do it.
100%. How are you doing?
We're doing pretty well. The holidays have their challenges, and
always, yes.
And Kathy's stepdad has some health issues we're navigating. Hopefully, we'll get through the holidays with everything working out. But everybody has lots of different things that come up during the holidays. It can be a stressful time. I love the holidays. Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year. Mm-hmm. But as we age and as reality sets in, sometimes it's a little harder to just be jovial all the time about it, whether you've lost relatives or friends or, it's challenging. Life's challenging right now. And, but I'm doing my best to have fun. And I went to a fun holiday party on Friday night. I got to break out an outfit that I had.
Girl, this outfit, you looked so good.
Thank you.
I was like, flipping through some pictures, but Ellen Miller, because I was also invited to the same party and I couldn't go.
I know you couldn't. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. But, it was a fancy, it's like formal attire / cocktail attire. And usually I'm like, ugh. But then I remembered I bought this little suit to wear at the App Properties holiday party in 2019. Mm-hmm. I bought it that morning. I wore it that night. I ended up performing at the party with a band. Well, what happened after that? COVID.
Uh-huh.
Gained some weight. Mm-hmm. Never wore it again because you just didn't wear anything like that for at least a year or two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then by that time, I was in a different couple of sizes. But thankfully, life was back to normal, and I lost some weight.
You need to wear this thing 24/7.
Well, I'm getting a lot. I did post a photo on Facebook.
I'm telling you, just walking around the house, like today when you go home after the show, put it back on just to feel fancy and famous. It was so this gorgeous cape.
It's a fun thing to wear, and anybody at the At Properties holiday party coming up this Thursday.
You'll be seeing it.
They'll be seeing it again. And the holiday party season has kicked off. That was the first one for us of the year. And then we've got a couple this week. And here we go into the countdown to the holidays. But we're just, trying to get our house in order. Going through closets, doing, the weather's been kind of crazy. And,
But can you say that one more time for Jerry?
Going through closets.
Yes. So that sounds like a fun thing to do when you can't really go outside.
You know what? It's very cleansing.
It is cleansing.
It is.
Yes.
It's just you realize you got to let go of things, which is hard for me. I'm not going to deny it. I'm a key. But I have to tell you something. There are some shirts and things that I kept because I got out of those sizes, but I kept them things I really liked in the back of a drawer. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy I kept them because I can fit into them again.
All right, well, there we go.
I am getting rationalization for keeping things, but if they look bad or you're never gonna, am I ever gonna wear this? Ask yourself.
I'm telling you, and like Marie Kondo,
does it bring joy?
Thank you so much for bringing me joy. And then you're going to bring somebody else joy when we donate it to the Brown Elephant.
It feels good to donate things.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, just saying.
Yeah, it does. Made it out to see Amadeus. People are raving about it. It's at Steppenwolf. It's, the actors are obviously always fantastic. So if you love the movie, you'll love the play.
There we go. I still have yet to see it. I've got friends that are in it, and I need to go and support them.
Sawyer... Smith was in it. They did a fantastic job, as always.
And there we go.
Bob Mueller was in it.
Bob.
His role is he's on stage.
Good.
And he did a great job.
Of course he did.
A great job. And Bob and Susie, if you're listening, it was great to see Bob back on the Steppenwolf stage.
On the Steppenwolf stage in the new Ensemble Theater.
Yes.
Yesterday, I'm going to screw up the name. We were celebrating a friend's 60th birthday.
Lisa?
What?
Oh.
Yeah, my friend Lisa.
Uh-huh.
And where I just... it's Elfie. Oh, I have to look up the name because we were at a Greek restaurant and I thought of you.
Oh, which one?
I'm trying. Oh,
Avli.
Which
one? There's 3 or 4.
Avli on the Park.
My favorite.
We were at.
Isn't the food great?
It was lovely. It was great. So basically. She had turned, her birthday was last month, but things were happening. There were weddings and
she turned a big year. So
a big year.
That's when you celebrate for months. So it's
celebrated,
anyway,
and she assembled. She is an academic, and actually it was very funny. I walked into this room because we had like a little private room, and there were about like 20 of us. A little tight around the table, not gonna lie. Very tempted. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of. I'm going to cut now. It's like, okay, cool. I will turn my body this way.
That's rough.
But like I'd walked in and there were like so many people, that had been on our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there were just like, it was just an incredible assemblage of human beings, a wonderful, heartfelt toasts from her colleagues from the university. It was just wonderful, and she was very, very happy. This is Lisa's going through her year first. She lost her mother this year. It's just been a very
we know the
year
hard.
first.
That's what I mean. It's hard. A lot of my cousins are going through first without their parents.
Yeah, it's a little. It's different, but it's also hopefully a time to remember and celebrate your time that you spent with them.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, and she was just looking around the table, and it was the gayest room ever. And she was like, you are our queer family, and we're lucky. We're lucky that we get to have so many people in our lives and so many extraordinary people in our lives and who are out doing things, and we're here to be together and to support. And she's like, Heather and I could not have gotten through this year without everybody around this table.
That's a nice, warm, cozy holiday experience.
Yeah, it was wonderful, and we got to so it was fun to like go downtown. It was a beautiful night, and like see all the lights down there. I want to thank everybody who lives on Lakeshore DuSable Lakeshore Drive
for the lights
for paying their HOA fees,
so that we can
we can share in the holiday spirit that is lining DuSable Lakeshore. It was so much fun, and it was great to kind of be around again, like our queer family.
Yeah, I love that. That's perfect. I mean, that's what the holidays are about. I have to ask you about Avli though. Something. Yeah. Did you have dessert?
We had cake. It was a birthday cake.
Because
it was a prefix menu,
okay.
Because it was a large group of people, and
because they have one of mine and my friends. After I did my Greek citizenship oth back in September, went there for lunch, for a celebratory lunch to Avli on the Park.
Okay.
And the chef came out with a complimentary dessert, which is baklava ice cream. Scott, you must go back for that. I know you're not as big a sweet tooth as I am, but maybe in this case,
I will definitely go back. It was a beautiful spread. Like, it was.
The food is great there.
The food was great. Ryan took care of us in such a wonderful way.
I think I had Ryan as our waiter.
Tattoos.
Yes.
Yeah. He was great.
He was great. It's
he
so
was
funny.
awesome, and just kind of like. He's got to be our go-to guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was a beautiful night. The food was so good.
So good.
So much eggplant.
Love the eggplant.
Me too.
Love it.
Okay, here's a little hidden secret.
Yeah.
The next time you go to the snack factory, there's this little tin of smoky charred eggplant with tomatoes and onions.
It's like almost a baba ganoush kind of thing.
No. It is. It's like a tomato.
Oh, it's like a spread.
It's like a spread kind of deal.
No,
but it's not like baba ganoush is like tahini and all that sort of situation. It's literally tomatoes, onions, and grilled eggplant and smoky eggplant. And you open it up on a tin and you put it on.
Put it on a cracker.
Or some ciabatta bread.
I'm getting hungry.
I'm just saying.
I can't eat till afternoon, so.
Oh, yeah, the intermittent. Well, unfortunately, you can't eat because you're on the air.
I'm on the air. It helps to be on the air drinking coffee. Yes, that does keep me from eating.
But it was a wonderful night. It was great to celebrate.
That sounds fantastic. That's a great place to be, too.
I know. It's wonderful. Like, Heather and Lisa they're just dear, dear friends. I've known Heather since, 30 years or whatever. We were at their wedding, which was in their home, and the two of them have been through a lot together, and it's great to go and to support and just to see all the love that's
Celebrate
happening.
The good times, folks.
That's
what we got to do.
Yeah. It was great. I guess we should take a break.
Sure, looks like we have a caller, too.
We got callers and texts and things that we will get to. But before we do that, oh no, I didn't pull up. I wasn't prepared. I've got to pull up the Hochberg live read because this part about Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. Hey, if you are purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home, call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Tim called to consolidate his debt and was so happy with David's advice, he left this 5-star Google review. David personally called me regarding my refinance inquiry. After discussing my situation, David determined I'd be better served securing a HELOC instead of refinancing. Then David spent considerable time providing valuable guidance and referred me to KCT Credit Union for a HELOC. David's reputation on radio for genuinely helping others, even when there's no direct benefit to him, is well deserved, and I experienced this firsthand. Thank you, David, for your time and integrity. David thanks Tim for his amazing review and strongly encourages everyone to read Team Hochberg's nearly 600 5-star Google reviews. David helped Tim and thousands of WCPT listeners, but he can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit the website you know and love, 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061. We got to take a quick break, and when we come back, there is more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hi, my name is Amy Sumter. I'm a comedian as well as She's Crafty, and you are listening to Out Chicago.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller. Also want to send out a big old happy belated to Amy Sumter. It was her birthday this week.
Happy belated, Amy.
Love her.
Or as a friend of mine says, it's not the birthday. You have to say belated happy birthday. He's a stickler on it.
Belated happy birthday?
As opposed to happy belated birthday. Because their birthday...
Oh, yes. Yes, that is grammatically correct.
He drilled it into my head after saying it for, 50-some years.
That is grammatically correct. Thank you to your friend. I hope he also uses the Oxford comma because I am...
He does.
It's great. And just using comma can save lives. It changes, let's eat grandma to let's eat grandma. and we don't want to do that.
No, we don't.
We don't want to eat grandma.
I'm very.
Let's eat.
I'm very karma
Grandma.
conscious. I try to put them in the right place.
Look,
when I
we
can.
try to. We do our best.
We do our best.
We do our best
We do.
over here. Hey, a quick favor
Sure.
from our listeners, especially the folks who help spread good information. You know who you are. If you've ever shared something you heard on WCPT or read on heartlandsignal.com, maybe it's like a clip, a story, or a moment that really cut through all the
Clutter.
Thank you.
I'm using that word.
Poopy. Hey, we want to hear from you. We are building a network of people who help their community stay informed, and you probably, if you listen to this station, you might already be one of them. Look, it only takes a couple of minutes, and if you fill out this survey, you can enter a drawing for one of five $25 Visa gift cards. Just go to heartlandsignal.com/share and tell us how you pass information along. Again, that's heartlandsignal.com/share. We love our listeners, and you are all a big part of how trustworthy pro-democracy news actually travels, and we want to learn from you. So again, head over to heartlandsignal.com/share and just tell us how you pass along information that you've heard here on WCPT or on the website heartlandsignal.com.
I love it.
That'd be great.
Good reminder.
Because look, and so we're a little famous.
Huh?
You and me. We had Jerry.
Jerry, yeah.
Jerry works. My husband Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
He works in a concierge medical service place, and a patient was walking in and said, he's like, do you listen to the radio? And he's like, I do. And he's like, well, have you ever heard of WCPT?
You're kidding.
He's like, well, as a matter of fact, I have. And he's like, well, every Sunday, I love it. And he's like, out Chicago? And he was like, Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Like, yes, and he's like, and he clearly had no idea that
Jerry was connected. Yeah.
And then he was like, what? I love them. I love Scott and Ellen so much. Like, he knew Ellen, he knew you, he knew Kathy, he knew all about our dogs, what's been going on
How can you not if you listen, right?
I know, but it was just so lovely. But thanks to...
Do we have his name?
No, because of HIPAA, we can't get that.
Thanks to whoever stopped into the office where Jerry works and listens to our show. I hope you're listening right now. We appreciate it.
We really, really
Happy
do.
holidays.
So thank you so much for all of that.
I love that.
I know, me too.
When we're on the radio, it's Devin and it's Paul and it's Scott and me here, and we don't know who's listening, but I'm always pleasantly surprised because really I do meet a fair amount of people who do listen to the show and the station, and I'm always so excited.
I know, it's wonderful.
So we appreciate that.
We really do appreciate it because you're just kind of talking into a void at a camera.
Yeah, we don't know.
With weird angles, and
reach out, call, text.
Send
again. Money. No.
oh, yes, always that. Venmo me. There you are.
Support the station. That's the main thing. So we
100% do that. So, okay, I guess we got to talk about newsy stuff, even though I don't want to. It's so... It's becoming harder and harder to understand the mentality of the people who are supporting this ding-dong like grandpa in the White House, right? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's been another horrible week for him, but he sure is proud of those cognitive tests that he's taking lately.
Oh, yes, he's so proud of them.
I mean, he keeps talking about them whenever he gets the chance, which is so very strange. Yep. Very, very strange. A little snoozy snooze.
Well,
resting his eyes.
There's some theories rolling around in the interwebs about his snoozing and his MRI.
Oh, but he doesn't even know why he got an MRI.
Well, apparently there's an Alzheimer's drug that you have to do regular MRIs for that also makes you real sleepy.
Oh.
And there's some
allegedly. This is allegedly. We're saying it allegedly right now.
Interweb, gossip.
Allegedly.
That he might be on that drug, and that's why they did the MRI, and that's why he's sleeping. And it is given on we know how his hand is bruised?
Oh, it's intravenously through the hand?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
This is what I read. And I take everything you read but it kind of makes sense. It's like, Grandpa has, Alzheimer's maybe. And they're trying to nip it in the bud with every kind of medical, preventative thing they can do, but that could be it. That would make sense.
I hate that for Grandpa Ding Dong because it's an awful thing.
It is an awful thing. Your mother suffered from it. I have relatives and friends, people's parents, and a friend of mine actually, at a young age, suffered from it. It's horrible. It's horrible.
It's an awful thing.
But, I have to tell you, he's a horrible man, and he's inflicted lots of pain on people, and I think whatever happens to him is karma.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
All right.
Whatever happens to him is karma. Whatever it is.
There we go.
Whatever it is, I'm a believer in what goes around comes around.
Just like that Justin Timberlake song.
Yeah, just like that.
Goes around. Or we get sued.
Do what?
Any more of that, we get sued.
Oh, see, we're done. I know, stop.
Even if we sing
stopped.
it? No.
But that was a beautiful rendition. It was almost like Justin was here in the studio.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. He's out of his mind, as usual, so there's no telling.
And now it's like dog whistles be damned.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to come right on out and spew hate and vitriol, and just not even disguise it.
When he talked about the Somalians?
Yeah.
How horrible to call them garbage, to wish them to go back. They don't do anything. There's like 85,000 Somalians that live in Minnesota and the Minneapolis area. These are people, many of which are American citizens. And he's calling them garbage.
Well, because again, we know he is not president of the United States. He is president of the red
white
states.
People.
He is president of MAGA. He does not care for anybody else unless you vote for him and bow and bend the knee. And that it's ridiculous, and I don't see how anybody with just a little bit of moral character, a moral backbone, how you can just sit by and watch him say things and do things. It's just ridiculous. It is just...
And we're all now just numb to it because every day it's something, can you imagine, we've said this a million times, if any Democratic president said those things. Can you imagine if they said 100 millionth of what he says?
Could you imagine if you walked into work and your boss said that?
Right.
Could you imagine if you walked into a party and a friend or a guest there said that? It's bananas. Yes.
Never forget, during the 2024 election, President Biden said MAGA supporters are garbage. And what did MAGA do? They lost their ever-loving mind.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
But now calling other people garbage is okay to them. Maybe the Somalians need to wear garbage bags like MAGA was doing.
Oh, there we go. We could do that.
Bring some attention.
I don't know. But it's my brain is just oozing out of my ear with all of this. But maybe our good friend Michael O'Connor might be able to shed some light on some things. Hey, Michael, you're on Out Chicago. How are you, my friend?
Hi, I am doing fine. Every day above the ground is a good day. It's a good thing, and it's a blessing for everybody. Look, I haven't called in, but I've been listening. And, I am as you both know, I am a seasoned 68-year on this earth, openly gay, African-American man. But I know the history of this country. And Trump, as far as I'm concerned, is morally bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
I do believe something is wrong with his health, and they propping him up until J.D. Vance can get it together. And see, J.D., I fear that if or when Trump leaves, we're going to have to deal with J.D. Vance and the Republican. Hopefully the House will turn this March.
Yes.
Whoever listens to this radio station, we must. It is in our best interest to get out, to make sure in the midterms in March that we vote these idiots out. I actually was morally repugnant. I called, how can I put this? I feel that the Missouri Republican, Eric Smith, somebody help me out here. The guy from, he was on this week with George Stephanopoulos. He was morally repugnant. The FCC should have taken him off.
Are you talking about Josh Hawley?
Him too.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is not a singular situation. What we're talking about is hate being legislated on a mass level in terms of the Republican Congress, in the Senate, and in the House. And unfortunately, because of the 5-person difference, we're going to have to deal with this. But what I feel like Chris Christie actually stated, I know voters are angry, and they should be. All you got to do is look at your grocery bill, look at your gas bill, look at your electric bill, and look at the transfer of wealth from this big, ugly bill that this, well, I can't use that language.
And we thank you for your censorship right there.
This president and the Republican Congress has put forth and signed. We're going to be dealing with this by March. We're going to be dealing with Obamacare tax credits gone in January. That's going to affect 22 million people here in this country. We're going to be dealing with Medicaid in most states almost gone.
And most of them are in red states, is it? All the top 10 that will suffer the most are in red states. I think you're referring to Missouri Republican Senator Eric Schmidt.
Yeah, that's his name. He with that. Did you see? I don't know who made him up, but Revlon is out of the question for him. And let me just say once again, we must get out and vote in these midterms, the next election, whatever, local as well as state. We have, and as well as the feds, we have got to get out here and use the only weapon that we have.
Voting.
Yep,
Well, we
vote.
have two weapons.
You are so right, Michael. You are.
Vote and want to openly protest. Me and Dale Gordon walked in the No Kings March, and I'm on a cane. I'm 68 years old. And I think that many of the LGBTQ community young people who go to the bars on Saturday need to start organizing in those bars. This is history repeating itself, but you have to know the history in order to know that it's repeating itself. And I believe we're at the start of a political revolution. And the Republicans know it. That's why they're trying to cut any right that we have.
Yeah.
Desperate measures.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for giving us a call, and thank you for your advocacy, your activism, and for you just having your voice heard. That has been who you are with your life. You've been a grassroots activist your entire life. So thank you for all of that, and I'm always thank you for giving us a call. It's always great to hear you. But one thing that I will say. That kind of buoyed me, because at the No Kings rally, I've been going to all of the rallies, and they've started out smaller and they keep getting exponentially bigger as we see what these policies that he's passing, or even not even passing, because most of the time he's asked to go back, all that Doge mess, when they were cutting things, oh wait, you actually have nuclear codes and you help take care of the nuclear weapons. We need to hire you back. But I've been watching things. The crowds have been growing at every single one of the protests. And the very first one that I went to, I think it was cold, so it could have been May, But I remember going there and seeing the average age of the folks that were there, and what I could see were it was well over 50.
It was. I was there.
Yeah, it was a very, but as each other progressing rally,
They have gotten younger.
They've gotten so much younger and so much more diverse and so much more. There are more people out there who are like, no, this is not right, and they are literally taking it to the streets. So I do feel very, very buoyed.
Yes.
My big question is for MAGA. Is what are you so mad at? What are you so mad at? I don't understand why you are just pissed off about everything, and I don't know why. I don't know how my marriage, your marriage, affects anybody else's marriage.
Why does diversity, equity, and inclusion bother you so much? Something so, if you're a person of religion, Christianity, whatever, this seems to be something that should be a basic human right for people that are diverse, to have equity, to be included. Why is it a dirty word? Every time they use it as a negative, I want to scream at the television.
Of course. And thank you for calling it diversity, equity, and inclusion, and not DEI, because I want to know what part of that do you not agree with?
Right.
Like that, there is this crazy anger that they're just holding on to, and you can just feel it. Like tonight is the Kennedy Center honors is happening, and I know, and Grandpa Ding Dong is hosting.
Yeah.
What? Like, and it's like.
I mean, is this one of these? Is this a car accident we can't keep our eyes off of?
Yeah, well, no, I'm not watching. I mean, I will not watch it because it's not going to be televised tonight. But like when it does come on, I'm like, I'm not watching it. I don't care.
I'm sure we'll get the cliff notes between now and then.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's just like
I used to love that show. I love that event.
There is zero joy. There's zero joy. There's nothing trying to help the American people. He's making stuff up about like affordability is a made-up word, and it's also a new word like grocery.
He has no command of the language. He's just does the same sound bite. Garbage is his favorite word. All this disaster. They're a disaster. They're garbage. I mean, he's like 5 or 10 descriptive words that are all negative. That's his whole.
But hey, I know there are MAGA people out there listening because you like to comment on videos and things that we post on WCPT's Facebook page and all of that stuff in social media. What are you so mad about? Do you think? Again, you have the House, you have the Senate, you have the White House, you've got the Supreme Court even. Like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? I just don't get it.
Why are you so mad at the landscaper that takes good care of your yard, or the waiter, or the chef, cook in a restaurant, your woman in the locker room at your club? Why do you think it's okay to treat these people so horribly? What kind of person are you?
Well, not a Christian.
You're supposed to be
not a Christian, I can tell you that.
And as we've talked about many times, the trans issue has been weaponized by them as some horrible, evil. I mean, they use it for everything. I mean, every negative thing you could think of, they blame on trans people.
No, they blame on trans women.
Trans women, yeah.
They don't go after gender nonconforming people or trans men. It is all about trans women.
And they've just...
which actually sets us up for what I want to talk about after the break.
And we'll get to your calls.
We'll get to your calls. There's people are texting, some very funny texts actually, right now. But so we do have to take a break, and when we come back, there's more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm Jen Grosshandler.
And I'm Chazzy Grosshandler.
We're with the Gender Cool Project, and you're listening to
Out Chicago!
Woot!
Woot! Woot! Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff and Ella Miller here on a lovely snowy evening.
Meteorological winter day.
Before the break, we were just talking about just the bizarre anger and the cruelty of the administration. And let's focus once again on the petty cruelty that's on display with this administration. So Just so we know, since taking office, Trump has moved aggressively to curtail the rights of transgender and intersex people through many federal agencies, including the Department of Health, Justice, Education, and others. There's feels like the beginning of a new lavender scare that's happening, especially like in the Department of Justice. At the Pentagon, transgender service members were forced out of the military without benefits. At the Department of State, decades-old passport policies were reversed. The president often describes transgender people as a danger to society. And in the latest move, the petty move to own the libs, HHS has altered the name on the portrait of Admiral Rachel Levine, who served for 4 years as President Biden's Assistant Secretary for Health, to her previous name. Her legal name was on her portrait, and during the government shutdown, apparently they could do this during a shutdown, they went in and removed the glass, changed the nameplate to her previous name, and put it on her portrait for just no other reasons but for petty and spite. And just a reminder, in case you do not know who Admiral Rachel Levine is, she was the first transgender person to win Senate confirmation, and her portrait's been on display in the hallway since she was confirmed in 2021. So the role is a 4-star admiral position in charge of the commissioned corps of the U.S. Public Health Service. They are trying to erase trans folk, and specifically transgender women. It's bananas with lies and misinformation and stoking of fear.
Yeah, well, because they are preaching to their, MAGA cult, which is a minority in this country. It is a minority. We are under the auspices of a minority that is determining what the majority is subject to, and it stinks. It's wrong. It's not a democracy. But as we've talked about a lot during the election last year, when Elon Musk dumped, millions of dollars into the battleground states to run these horrible anti-trans ads that scared the bejesus out of these people. This was really a hot button that these people were just, again, it's lack of information. They reach people that may live in an area where there's little diversity that they're aware of, and they make trans people the boogie woman, and it worked for them. And so they continue to use that playbook.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm well aware of their strategy, but it's
hateful. It's hateful.
The cruelty is the point. Actually, you know what? We just got a great text in from Mark. He said, we can't relate to it, but their personal sense of worth is tied to their white identity.
Yeah.
The country has changed and they are deeply threatened. That's what makes them so mad. Right-wing media constantly reinforces their grievance. They are afraid and threatened and constantly hammered with outrage on social media. Mark,
you're right. Yeah, nail on head for sure.
On the nosy, it is white grievance.
Absolutely, and they're feeding into it every moment of every day, in every way.
It's so frustrating, but there is some hope. Okay, so this weekend was also the Victory Institute's 41st International LGBTQ plus Leaders Conference. Now, folks out there who might not be familiar with what the Victory Institute is, they have become one of the most influential queer political institutions worldwide, and its mission is pretty straightforward: train, support, and mobilize LGBTQ plus people to run for office and to lead. And the alumni of there are some really incredible folks, including Colorado Governor Jared Polis, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, Delaware U.S. Congresswoman Sarah McBride, the first out trans person in Congress, and California Congressman Robert Garcia, who is now the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. And so there was a big conference. They honored President Biden with the Christabel Impact Award, and President Biden became the first former or sitting president to address the LGBTQ plus Victory Institute. He's always been on the on our side.
Yeah, he has.
President Biden has.
He has.
Just so we can remember what we had going on and what, as Michael O'Connor said, how we have to get out and vote and make sure that we keep moving forward instead of letting these harmful, dangerous policies take place. This is what we had. So his administration set records for LGBTQ inclusion. Almost 15% of Biden's appointees identified as LGBTQ plus. Beyond anything else to do that, his administration reinstated and expanded federal civil rights protections, reversed the ban on transgender military service that, of course, President Nick Waddle has now reinstated. They strengthened anti-discrimination rules in employment and healthcare and expanded protections for LGBTQ plus youth and families. My question again to MAGA, how does any of that take away your rights? How does again, equal rights does not mean for others, does not mean less rights for you. That's it.
That's true.
Unless your motivation is to watch people suffer. And how Christian is that?
Not very.
I miss kindness at the White House.
I know. It's horrible. It's hard to watch.
It's really hard to watch. But also at the event this weekend with the Victory Institute, there was a panel of 3 out lesbian state attorneys general. Can you how awesome is that?
Fantastic.
You had a Hawaii Attorney General Ann Lopez, Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays, and Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. And they were talking about the fragility of civil rights and the coalition of Democratic attorneys general who are fighting against Trumpism and for democracy. This is where I hope that we are buoyed, because Lopez, she told the group, what I want everybody here to hear is that on January 20, the Democratic attorneys general were already prepared, already collaborating, and already dedicating to this fight. So what came out during this panel is that there is a coalition of attorneys general throughout the blue states that gather weekly, if not more frequently than that, like via Zoom, and they share information, they share tactics, they share about how we can move forward through all of this. And that, to me, should give us great hope, and also remind us that we need to make sure that we get out and vote. That we get out there and that we look at these officials. And fortunately, here in Illinois, we have a plethora of queer candidates that are running who are highly qualified. We're lucky.
I'm feeling optimistic. I have to.
So but again, here's things that are going to be coming up, folks. They're going to be attempting to commandeer state election processes, federal interference at polling places, and they are slowly chipping away at marriage equality on the federal level. These were some of the things that they were talking about, and this is stuff that we need to keep talking about in this conversation to remind folks, again, what is at stake.
Absolutely.
A free and fair election. That's huge. That is something that our country has been built upon for 250 years.
Yep.
We have to remember this. We have to remember that, they're coming after marriage equality. They are. That's just
even though the Supreme Court decided not to take it up.
No, they didn't take up that case. They didn't take up Kim.
That's true.
Kim Davis.
Kim Davis's case.
Because Kim Davis wanted them to judge whether or not she had to pay her money. It wasn't about turning over the law.
Right. It was about that case.
It was about that thing. But they are going to revisit it. They are going to try to do that, at least on a federal level. Again, they always scream states' rights. So, I guess we're here in Illinois and we're okay with that.
Thank God for that.
But, again, what happens when, you go to Tennessee with your wife and something happens to you, or Kathy, heaven forbid,
it's
and
a fear
you are
we
not
have. We
married.
all have, right?
You're not married there.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And we have to remember that we have leaders that are fighting the good fight, that are out there. These attorneys general are They are linking arms. They are an unprecedented coalition to try to maintain democracy, which we never thought I would have to say. Like that's just crazy. And I think one thing that gives us a little bit of an edge is because we are LGBTQ plus, because we have been marginalized, because we have we understand intrinsically in our bones what adversity is and what discrimination feels like. It is our superpower. We are able to step forward and lead with a little bit more compassion, to understand and hear different people's perspectives. I think it's I don't know. I am. The beginning of the year was a really, really hard and very just everything was moving so fast, and it just felt like there was gloom and doom. But even on this beautiful snowy day, I feel optimism because of our elected officials that we have going, that are working together, because of the folks in our own communities. I've said this before and I'll say it 1,000 times again. When the world gets too big, if everything looks too big, start thinking smaller. Go down. Start with like, how can I help out my neighbor? Can I help out my neighbor right now? Great. And then once you're helping out your neighbor, maybe you can jump up over to your community or to your city or whatever it is. But when things get overwhelming, you got to stay the course, but just get it small. Just get smaller. Think smaller focus, and then that will spread. Just like the numbers that have been growing at the protests throughout the entire year, and how more young people are getting involved. So we've got this. But we have to remember that there's some big stuff at stake.
Oh, yeah.
There we are. And on that note, we should probably take a break, get some news going on here. And when we come back, it is the second hour of Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
Welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along.
Yes, we are.
Singing a song, side by side.
Stating our case.
Mm-hmm. Getting our dander up. And getting ready to bring in the holiday season. Everything. We've got a fun second hour lined up for you a little bit later on. Look, I'm so excited about this. There's a brand new venue called Stars and Garters, which apparently was like an old burlesque house. It was like the last standing burlesque house in Chicago, I believe. We'll find out more but it's a brand new premier retro entertainment venue with like comedy, music, drag, magic, burlesque, all that sort of good stuff. We're going to speak with one of the club's founders, Colin Kelty, a little bit later on. But right now, I am so very excited for our first guest. Look, Anthony Rapp basically secured his place in Broadway history in the original company of Rent and the so delightful and so hard. I love the revival of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. He's also one half of the first openly gay couple in space on Star Trek Discovery, and now he's coming home to Chicago with the intimate holiday cabaret, Anthony Rapp, home for the holidays at Looking Glass Theater. Anthony Rapp, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We're so excited to have you. Well, you've earned it.
Yes.
Damn it, Anthony Rapp. You've had such an incredible career, and it all started right here in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I was born on the north side at what was then known as Swedish Covenant Hospital, but now is just Swedish Hospital. But I grew up in Joliet. I went to Joliet West High School, graduated in '88, moved to New York after graduating. But I was working as a kid in showbiz. My first professional job was at the Goodman Theater as an understudy in Christmas Carol.
All right.
I think I was like 8.
Was it? Were you Turkey Boy or Tiny Tim?
I was understudying Tiny Tim, and then I also had to. There was like this. You'll hear my toddlers in the background too, by the way. I also had to do like the coming out from underneath the ghost skirt at one point. The little kids like point at Scrooge, you know, like they're starving kind of thing.
Hunger and I forget the
yes.
Oh, of course, that is.
Yeah, my son Rye is saying that he's being a stinker butt to another kid over there, so he's correct. He's correct. And then I got my equity card. The first national tour of Evita was sitting down in Chicago in 1981, and there were 4 kids in that production, and I auditioned to replace one of them, and I was in that at the Schubert, what was then the Schubert Theater for, I think, like 6 months or so. So that was my first equity job.
Nice. Of course. Come on now. But then now people may know you from Rent, but I, of course, know you from Adventures in Babysitting. Was that your first? That was your first movie, right?
That was my first film. I was 15. They did a nationwide search kind of thing where they were going all over the country to audition kids and teenagers, and I was 15, got the role, and it was a great experience. We filmed mostly in Toronto, but we did shoot a little bit in Chicago.
Right.
Like on the L train, I forget on the Edens.
And they
like drive around Greektown, you know.
Yeah, did you actually do that? What is that Diamond building? That's the Prudential building. Is that the one that Elizabeth Shue is like?
Called now. Yeah, I don't know what it's called now. It was called the Associate Center back then.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, how amazing at 15 years old, you know, Chicago kid, and now you're on this like set of a big budget film. You know, Elizabeth Shue had just kind of really broken out with, you know, I think she was in Karate Kid. Yeah. How was that? Was it just like summer camp in the wintertime?
It was wintertime, so we were freezing. We were shooting outside at night in January and February in Toronto and Chicago. So we were constantly really cold. But it was still a totally joyful experience, completely spoiled me for all time of what it's like to make a movie. Which is not always nearly as fun as that was.
Right.
It can be fun, but but that was a really special experience.
I love that. I mean, you know, when you walk onto a set that is actually filled with joy and energy, it's a game changer. But speaking of like joy and energy and a total game changer, I'm sure you're probably tired of speaking about this, but Rent. I mean, Rent was the original Hamilton. You know, everybody, it was everywhere. There was something about, you know, the energy, the youth, the passion, the subject matter. Like, how did this gift come into your life?
It was just a regular audition. I was having a little bit of a fallow period. I was living in New York. I was broke. I just started a survival job at Starbucks, and I got an audition for what was then just a workshop production. It was just like a 3-week gig total that was paying $300 a week, which in New York, even in 1994, did not get you very far.
Right.
But I knew who the director was, Michael Greif, because I'd seen a play that he directed, which was fantastic, and so that was exciting. I hadn't done a musical professionally since I was a kid, so that was exciting. But I didn't know anything more about it than that. And I just auditioned. I got called back on the spot, which is also a spoiling experience, which, almost never happens.
Yeah.
And then I came back. I had to learn the song Rent for my callback. I messed up in both my auditions. I sang. I jumped a verse in my first audition, and then I started on the wrong note in my callback, but I still got the part, which I'd like to tell. I like to tell that part of the story mostly for like aspiring actors to know that messing up in an audition is not in any way, shape, or form a problem unless the people casting the show are just mean.
Right. And they want to see how you bounce back from that, I'm sure, as part of it, you know?
Yeah, but it's not about getting it perfect. It's about seeing how you come through.
Right.
But anyway, we did the 3-week workshop. It was a great experience, but the show needed work, but it was really good. And then it was like several months later that we got the word that we were going to have a full production, which happened a little over a year later. And then, and I knew it was something special, and had high hopes for it, but you just never know what it's going to turn into. I would tell people in the intervening year that I was a part of this project that I was really excited about. I had said, I think it's going to make a bit of a splash.
Just a touch.
Just a little bit.
I did mean that, but I meant like in a like it's good. I thought it had the potential to, garner some attention and be kind of like this downtown thing. Never in a million years would have imagined it would become like a mainstream smash. Not ever. Not ever.
Who could? Yeah, who could have predicted it?
In retrospect, I think it filled a void. And, in physics, if you fill a void, that creates a tremendous amount of energy. So it makes sense. The musical theater didn't have anything that was like telling contemporary stories about the real world using music that was contemporary.
Yeah.
At that time, musical theater was just mostly Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Jonathan Larson was reacting against, and that's why he, what he wanted to do was change the landscape, and he did.
And he most certainly did, because
it changed forever, the landscape.
Well, let me tell you. Do we have more stinker butt action going on?
No, that's my younger son trying to run away.
Bye, Daddy. See you later. Have a fun interview.
But that show was the first time that I ever saw my life on stage. I was the prime target because we're basically the same age. It was like, these are people. Yeah. I wore those clothes. I understand what it means to be hustling and struggling for $1. And it was just something that really hit, especially with Gen X, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because it was, again, it was the Hamilton of its time. Y'all were everywhere. And it was the first time that we were talking about AIDS, in a moment where that was really, really crucial that we talked about it. And I want to thank you for having that, for being a part of change, not only just to the theater world and the musical theater world, but also really keeping the conversation moving forward about the HIV/AIDS epidemic that was still raging at the time. It really was such a gift for all of your audiences and fans. So thank you for that.
Thank you. It was the honor of a lifetime. Mm-hmm. It was And I know that you. As you said at the beginning, I'm probably tired of talking about it. I'm in no way, shape, or form tired of talking about it.
Okay, good.
It's been, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And it's continued to give back in every way all the time, 30 years later.
You'll always have that as part of you, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and you've just have had just quite a journey, in your career. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Again, one of the sweetest, most lovely shows on the planet. I'm a huge sucker. Happiness is finding a pencil. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then, and then of course you're like, now you were like in Star Trek Discovery, breaking barriers then with gays in space, and now you are back in Chicago with some stinker butts, with your husband and 2 kids, and you're getting ready to do this incredibly intimate holiday cabaret at the Tony Award winning Looking Glass Theater. What's in store for that?
Well, I wanted to give a little background. When I moved back to Chicago, I was hopeful to be able to get involved in the Chicago theater world, but I didn't want to kind of just try to stomp into town and say, "Hey, here I am." So it's been a wonderful process of talking to folks at Looking Glass, who I was introduced to via my sister, in which we just started engaged. Looking Glass has such an incredible reputation and incredible pedigree. But they, mostly do these hugely inventive
physical
theater that's, devised by their company and developed over time. So they really don't do a lot of different shows in the course of a season. Mm. And they're looking to find new ways to bring lights into their beautiful space that they have in this incredible location, and to kind of, energize and engage their audience. So we were just talking about what might it be. And it was through, meeting with a wonderful board member who's been super supportive, Marcy Mazur, And David Schwimmer, who's on the board and, one of the founding members, they're the ones who was like, we would like to fill it with music because they don't do a lot of that. Sometimes they do have music in their shows, but they just thought that this would be a really great way. So we just started talking. And for me, the idea of coming back in the city, I love concerts. I love intimate concerts. And then also to be able to assemble a group of local talent to celebrate the incredible richness of Chicago talents. So we had auditions. There's 6 incredibly talented, really exciting performers that we found after auditions that myself and 6 others are going to put together an evening of what I hope are going to be fresh takes on familiar music. And it's going to be an intimate, cozy, comfy way to come together in, what are kind of dark times that we're living through.
Oh, we need them, more than ever.
Yeah.
Anthony, how did you go about selecting the music for Home for the Holidays? And are any of the songs that you've chosen, do they have a special meaning, relating to your childhood or your family?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up, I know you talked about already about Your Good Man, Charlie Brown, but I grew up, it's mac and cheese. I grew up watching Charlie Brown and watching Charlie Brown Christmas. So we're going to do a little tribute to Charlie Brown and to me, how it resonates very powerfully for me in both the holidays and with my family. And this is, my mom died when I was 25 while I was in Rent. And so, there is a bittersweetness at the holiday time that I also want to honor as part of the evening. And I don't want to skirt over the fact that for many people, the holidays are complicated. They are joyful and cozy and comfy, and there's time and space to allow for the loss and the grief that we experience at this time of year. So Charlie Brown for me becomes a way to do a little bit of that. There's incredible iconic songs like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas that we found this wonderful singer to do, and they presented it in what I feel is a very fresh way that also honors the traditional matter of it. There's, Little Saint Nick. We're going to do, I hope, a really fun arrangement of that with the whole company. Things like that. It's a nice grab bag of holiday songs. There's a couple songs that probably very few, if anyone has ever heard, that are to me very inventive, really fun, really zany things. And then there's things that have a little more heart and soul to them too. So it's going to be a wide array, but with a very talented, very exciting group of people.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
It's like a cornucopia of emotions. I love the fact that you are also acknowledging the bittersweet and the sadness of the time. Around you, because that's a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be like, the vibe is like, even though we're in a theater, that we're kind of like we got invited to someone's home at a holiday gathering where people are just sort of hanging around the piano singing songs kind of vibe, So it's going to, that's the hope. It's going to be intimate, conversational, cozy, not flashy, authentic, kind of coming together. That's the whole hope and vibe. And I'm very grateful to Looking Glass for giving us the chance to experiment in this way and bring this life to their incredible space.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and we are very grateful that you are back in our fair city to share all of your incredible gifts and talents. So, hey, if you're looking for something that's wonderful to do, don't miss Anthony Rapp, Home for the Holidays. It's going to be playing at Looking Glass Theater December 17th through the 20th. For tickets, go to lookingglasstheater.org, and that's theater with an R-E and probably too many G's than you think. Go in there. So go to lookingglasstheater.org and you can get yourself some tickets for a very, very special evening. Anthony Rapp, thank you for taking time out today to join us. Have a wonderful holiday season with your family. Watch out for the stinker butts and break all the legs when you do Home for the Holidays at Looking Glass Theater December 17th to the 20th.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you.
All right. And hey, I also just want to remind you, folks out there that are listening, Looking Glass, as Anthony Rapp just said, they are looking out to, they're expanding some things with some special events this year with the Prism series. This month's events include, of course, Anthony Rapp, star of Broadway Stage and Screen, Matthew C. Yee, he's a performer and playwright, and Chicago power couple Don and Lisi, with special appearance by Looking Glass Ensemble and members and my friend Louise Lamson and Anthony Irons. So this is all part of their partnership with Goodman's Theater's 100 free acts of theater. So go and check it out. And when you go to lookingglasstheater.org to buy tickets.
Fantastic.
For Anthony Rapp, Home for the Holidays, with a bunch of other people. There we go. Hey, we should probably take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to be getting our burlesque on. And we're chatting with one of the founders of a brand new club, Stars and Garters, right here in Chicago. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Welcome back. I'm Lennox McGee.
I'm David Dodd, and we're the hosts of The Sip.
You're listening to
Out Chicago on WCPT 820.
And welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, rolling along and feeling all sorts of retro-y. We got our Anne Margaret Sissy Paws going on, which gets us perfectly into the vibe for the recently opened Stars and Garters. It's a brand new Chicago's premier retro entertainment venue, home to some of the finest comedy, magic, drag, and burlesque entertainment that this city is known for. And joining us now is one of the club's founders, Colin Kelty. Colin, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. When I got this press release, I'm like, holy smokes, I had no idea there was a new venue. I'm such a lover of comedy and burlesque and magic and all that, and drag, of course. But I didn't realize I think there was a Stars and Garters years ago. What was the impetus for opening the new venue?
Yeah, and the Stars and Garters that existed years ago, sadly, is now a parking lot for a bank. I can't remember which one. But it was the last burlesque and vaudeville only focused theater in the city, and it went out of business years and years ago, before most of the people listening were probably born. And the goal here was to bring back some of that, magic that used to exist for that type of theater. That's why we call it retro. We figure that covers the idea of bringing back, high-end burlesque and vaudeville entertainment. Vaudeville gets to cover pretty much everything from theater to magic to comedy, sketch work, and anything in between. There's something for everybody. We have two stages, so we can have two performances going on at the same time, and people can pick their poison.
As it were. And I love that space is such a storied history within the Chicago theater community. It's been so many different things, and how wonderful that it's now being filled with this sort of love. When did you fall in love with, as you call it, retro entertainment?
I fell into theater in the normal route. I went to school for archaeology. I wanted to be Indiana Jones, and then I accidentally found my way into finance. Yeah, of course.
That old route.
Met a wonderful. Of course, this is the way that everybody gets here.
Yeah.
Met a wonderful woman who is a therapist by day, but a burlesque dancer by night, helping people both ways. And she introduced me to this whole part of Chicago. Got to meet a lot of people in the industry, including my business partner and one of the other founders, Chris Biddle, as well as Ronnie Rouge. That's the third person that, when you look us up, you'll see in the picture. Also, the person that our second stage, the Rouge Room, is named after. She's the reason that me and Chris got together, and that's how I fell in love with this whole world of retro entertainment, I guess you would say.
Well,
it's a passion project on many levels.
I love it. And, there is a really big, thriving burlesque scene here in Chicago. And it's so great that we have a new venue here on the north side. Actually, Liam Lightning Love, the pantsless comic, actually works here at the station.
Yeah, he just popped in
to say hello.
Hey, Liam.
So it was very exciting.
I assume he wears pants at work.
Well, it is radio.
Some days. Depends on how the weather's treating him.
Yeah, we are pants optional. Sometimes you just got to Pooh Bear it around the studio, But you have got a lot going on this month. There's like a little something for everybody leading up to a big New Year's Eve event. So what's going on your stages?
Sure. I appreciate you asking. So right now, the main stage, the main production until this weekend, is last weekend, for Duck Soup, Marx Brothers, classic put on by one of our resident companies, The Conspirators. They do a very interesting take on theater, building very elaborate sets, elaborate emotions, even more than generally these plays would take, as well as a little bit of Japanese no theater, like kabuki facial painting. Fantastic, fun to watch. That's more on the vaudeville side. We have burlesque on both stages, depending on the day. Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays, you can catch main stage burlesque with Peep Show. You can see the Rouge Room's namesake there on certain weekends. You can also catch Nerdlesque. The last theater that was in our place was a more sci-fi based. This is a little bit of continuation there. And then, we continue to have comedy through the comedy pageant, masterminds, and a review of movies similar to if you've ever seen Mystery Science Theater. Several comedians get drunk and watch a movie with you, and they make fun of it so that you don't have to. For Christmas, it's White Christmas.
Oh, I love that. I used to love Mystery Science Theater. It was like a appointment television back in the 80s for my friends.
Girl, that was like my dream job.
Yeah,
Come on down. You can hang out anytime.
Girl, I will if I can. Look, I can also recite the entire movie of White Christmas with just right from the jump. So, yeah, just be warned.
It's no fun if you don't know the movie. So, we want you to know, and we want you to also not expect the jokes. So, I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention the drag review. We have My Cabaret with, two of my favorite drag performers, Musky Fish Basket and Ukulele, doing their thing on stage as well every second Friday.
Yeah, so much. Like I'm telling you, there's a little something for everybody, and so much fun and joy. But I know coming up, we're just started December. I know.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to get planning for New Year's. And you've got a huge, it sounds like an epic New Year's Eve event that is happening.
Yeah, we couldn't come up with a better name than Spectacular Spectacular.
There we go.
We lean heavily into the Moulin Rouge vibes at Stars and Garter. So, of course, this will be on the 31st. It's New Year's Eve. We hope that it will be one of the premier parties of the year. It definitely will be ours. You're going to have everything that we have on display as a theater will be there in one night. You got 6 hours of burlesque on the main stage. We'll have the jazz trio playing for people to enjoy. There'll be a sloth in the Rouge Room that you can go and hang out with for an hour and feed sweet potato chips. We will have a balloon.
Wait, an actual sloth?
Oh, yeah, actual living sloth. Her name is Roxy. She's adorable.
Okay.
And she likes sweet potato chips.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. I love them.
Who doesn't? But she moves a little slow, so it may take some time to give it to her. But she's very gentle.
All right.
And she does love the jazz. Along with that, there's of course the normal drink specials. There'll be a champagne toast at midnight, but we also try to Stars and Garters this up a little bit. So there will be pictures with showgirls in our, fabulous Instagram-worthy balloon towers next to our giant showgirl wall. We'll be portraying the Moulin Rouge with our, friends coming down from Laugh Along Live to make fun of it as much as they can. And some exciting, surprises along with tarot, food, because we don't want you to get too drunk. We want you to be able to actually remember this.
Right.
So there'll be a charcuterie and candy bar as well. And in the end, we want you to be able to stay here after hours too. So once the ball drops, there'll be a DJ until the cops tell us we have to shut down.
All right, come on. Ain't nothing more Chicago than that.
No. Sounds fun. What's the capacity, Colin?
There's two different answers. The fire capacity, like 300 people, but we wouldn't do that. We're cutting it off at a lower amount. Expecting to sell somewhere around 80 to 100 tickets. So there's a limited capacity because we don't want you to feel too jammed in.
Right.
And we want there to be enough time with the sloth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on. That sounds fantastic.
That's a selling point.
So when exactly did y'all open? Because it was just recently, right?
Yeah, we opened in May.
Okay.
In May? Wasn't so the theater has been gone that long? Because I walk past there all the time.
It has. So they're the last tenant's lease ended in April, so we took over in May. The people who live above it and run the theater are the people who used to run Live Bait. So, I still get to see that name every time I pay rent.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But we moved in May. It's been a cleaning out and retooling process as well as reconstruction. So I think we really got going in June, July.
I do a fitness walk. I haven't been walking lately with the weather, but I walked by one day and I saw them taking the big sign down. And I was like, what's going on? Are they changing the sign? And I never figured it out, but obviously I know now. That was a big undertaking. There was a big truck there, and I wondered what was, but I didn't see yours. So is there a Stars and Garters sign up there now?
So we didn't replace that hanging sign over that side. Honestly, it wasn't supposed to be. There's not a door on that side, so it was more confusing for people than anything else. Because it used to be a flower shop before, there's a pretty fun history of the mafia of, blowing up a bomb in there to try to kill one of the florists. But it used to be a flower shop before it was a theater. Very Chicago. So there's two entrances technically. One's just an emergency exit, and that's what the sign was over.
Right,
So from a wiring standpoint, we didn't want to put a sign back up there and keep having people try to open a door that doesn't open. So when you go to the main door, there's a huge neon sign, because I'm sure you're walking during the day.
I am, yeah.
At night, that lights up and says Stars and Garters, as well as a bunch of other stuff that would attract your eye in. If you're within a mile of it at night on Clark, you're going to see it.
I'm glad to hear that. And I think there was a place, a potato was called the.
There was a mashed potato bar in the basement.
Oh my God!
I remember that mashed potato bar.
It was great.
Oh my God!
We'd go there all
so
the time.
old.
I know, but it was. I always think about it when I walk by, because what do I have on my mind? Food. But anyway.
Well, look,
I digress.
Colin, congratulations on this new venue. It's so exciting. It sounds like you are generating a lot of energy and a lot of excitement to continue the rich tradition of these, as you call it, retro entertainment, where you've got comedy, magic, burlesque, drag, all of the stuff that's just a little bit naughty this year on our naughty and nice list sort of thing. So congratulations on that. And much continued success into the new year. But speaking of New Year, I don't know what you're doing New Year's Eve, but you better get your tickets and get your black and gold outfits together, because isn't there a dress code for this thing too?
There is. As we said, we're trying to be a little bit more on the classy side. So while we will let you in without tucks and tails, that's what I'll be in. You'll also see me in a top hat. We do want you to put on your best black and gold, so that we can, when taking pictures, just have a sea of not only lovely faces, but fantastic outfits.
I love it. Well,
Good.
Make sure you get your tickets for the New Year's Eve spectacular. Head to starsandgartersclub.com to find out more information about Spectacular, and all of the incredible offerings that are happening throughout the entire month. Colin Kelty, thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays to you.
Yes, and I wish you much success there, Colin. I know it's going to be great.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for having me. And next time you're taking a walk by, knock on the door. We have people in there probably cleaning up or something. Feel free to come on in.
I will. I often have to use the restroom, so I'll take that into account. Thank you.
We have 2 of those.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow. So when you go to the Spectacular, you can use the can.
I will be I'm feeling that putting a sign up, I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh. All right, Colin Kelty.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you so much. And have a wonderful holiday season. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hi, I'm Spencer Tweedy, and you're listening to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to
love
Spency.
Great kid.
It was great to have him.
Guy.
He is a guy.
I know. I knew
He
him
is
when
a
he was
man.
I've seen him since he was a little boy. He is a man. He is a grown
now.
man and a fabulous grown man.
He is a fabulous grown man. Do you know who also is a fabulous grown man? Richard Shue.
Yes,
he is. There we are.
Yes,
and this
is.
week on Chu's Views, actually, Michelle Peltier, we're going to be filling in for Richard Chu Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And her guests will include show regulars Sarah Jones, Rich Logis, and Kurt Mullett. And Richard's back on Thursday and Friday, being a very good man. There we are. Again, that's Chu's Views, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT, 8:20 a.m., the Heartland Signal website. Tune in, YouTube, and Facebook. And hey, if you haven't already, you know, you can follow Heartland Signal on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Heartland Signal. Just one word.
Yes, you can.
And be sure to check heartlandsignal.com for daily updates and all that jazz. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Thank you, Jelly Bean. I really appreciate it. So this week, are you all decorated? You said Kathy put everything.
Did everything. She got everything decorated. We are ready. We are ready for I don't know what, but we're ready.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe just, I don't know. For me, it's always like a test of our relationship to put up the tree.
You have an elaborate tree to put up. We have a tabletop that we do now, pre-lit.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new one. We got a new tree. It was 10 years old.
I saw
we had to replace it. We were able to like hang out and put it together, and we didn't get into a fight.
Oh, that's
great. It was
great.
amazing. I know. And as like we were getting ready to put everything up, Jerry, because Jerry, I've said this. I think I said it just last week. He is able to make anything beautiful. Like that.
Well, you both have that knack.
No. Well, thank you.
You do.
But Jerry has that. Like it is. I don't understand it. How like he can just look. He's like, oh, he's got like there's a thing of twine and like some flowers and gooseberries over there, and all of a sudden becomes this gigantic thing. Like he's just incredible. I'm in awe every time. And he had a vision. He's like, all right, we've got a new tree. We need to do something new. Move things forward, like celebrate newness, and like, what do you think about like different garlands and things? And I'm like, all right. So I had some downtime on Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out into the world and see if I can find his vision of garland and like what we need. And I walked into the most terrifying place in the world for me, which is Michael's. Yes. I did not realize that there were so many different kinds of crafts. Like, so I am not a crafty person. I'm a cookie person. I cook. I cook. I don't bake. I don't even doing crafts.
Well, you do
stress
that.
me
Your
out.
outdoor patio is beautiful, and you do all that. That's crafty.
That's not craft. That's just moving stuff around and watering it so it doesn't die.
What about the tree branches I saw you putting in the tree? Can you explain that to me? Because I didn't understand it.
Well, because there are things it needs things to fluff up and to bolster.
Okay.
It's a cherry.
Okay, I didn't know.
I know.
I hadn't seen
this is
that
why
before.
I love him so much.
I saw this white tree with a tree branch.
I know. He's just
stuck in it.
well, the fact that
I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
I don't know where he pulled these branches from. They were in a room. We don't have that many rooms. And all of a sudden he came out and I'm like, I love you. Where the hell did you find these tree branches? He's like, well, we just got to, fluff it up and stuff. But he's just amazing.
He is. You both have good taste.
But it was really weird going through Michael's. Everything is just cleaned out too.
I'm sure this
crafty
is their
people
time of year.
I know, but I'm like, you could live in a Michael's. I mean, they've got clothing there for the clothing crafters. They've got fake flowers. There's some food items that you can have.
What Michael's do you go to?
The one near you.
By Clark?
Yeah.
Because that's the only one I know of nearby.
It's the only one I know about, and it's the slowest elevator with the best views of Chicago, I think.
Oh, yeah. I usually do the escalator, but there's an elevator.
Because you can walk there. I have to drive, so I have to get into the parking garage.
Ah, yes.
The slow elevator. But
it is a cool view.
I love it. Every day it's glass, and you can kind of see it. It reminds me of when I was actually Anthony Rapp's. When I was in my rent period, in my rent phase, I lived right down the street on Belmont and Halstead.
Perfect.
Right on the corner.
You're in the hood.
Next to whatever club it would change over. Whether
Club
it was
Victoria.
Spin was Foxy's.
Foxy's.
Was there and everything.
Yes.
But yeah.
We used to go there back in the day. Isn't it a noodle place now? No.
It is, yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Food, yeah.
It was a noodle place, and then it was briefly, there was... They had a leather bar night there from the closed manhole. Oh, yeah. But and it was so weird because I went there and I went into the club and it was they actually expanded into the building that was my apartment.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm sitting there going, this is so trippy.
Go down memory lane.
Totally going down memory lane. Anyway, so the tree is up.
The tree is up. It's starting to look beautiful from what I saw.
It's starting to look beautiful. We still have miles to go. Apparently there's some sort of, there's some ribbons. And I think we're procuring candles.
And things to put on the branches. Did you do that?
No, the branches get shoved within the tree to provide depth and interest on the outside.
Okay.
See, this is why he can. I'm like,
it's not my territory, so I
bow down.
I bow down.
I bow down to him.
I bow down to
what's going on. So anyway, we've been having some really, really lovely times. We're trying to find most because our schedules are at opposite ends, and we were able to we put the tree up, and it was really lovely. We spent a nice day yesterday, just kind of in the afternoon, going through up and down Andersonville. We went to lunch and bought birthday presents and all that sort of good stuff. And we've been just kind of just sharing stuff again. And he's a scroller, as we know, but he came across a personal interest story.
Okay.
Do you remember those? When they the CBS News would do, or either the local or the national news, they would do human interest stories.
The ABC does them at the end of the David Muir's, and especially around the holidays, they do Made in America, where they feature lots of holiday things that are made in America, and it's always a heartwarming story because it's by people, it's not by big companies. So,
yeah. But there was something just so wonderful about watching he found one from the CBS News in South Carolina, I think it was. Where are you? What's your name?
South Carolina. Agatha Burgess, you said.
Yeah, and so it was about Agatha Burgess, who is 80 years old, and it was in 1983. So just just seeing all that was just crazy, and of course, total different time. Different technology, all that stuff, slower pace, which maybe is what I'm loving about it. But they focused on her she, at 80 years old, she gets up every morning. She got up every morning at 5 o'clock and started cooking. And she would create these lunches that were open to anybody. Like she just fed people. And at 11 o'clock, she would open the door to her house and people from her town would come in and she would make sure that she greeted them and she sat down and had conversation. Like, and it wasn't just like, it wasn't necessarily just for folks in need. It was like the mayor would show up and just people from the community. They knew that every day she was going to feed people. And provide a service to the community. And she would sit down and she would make everybody it'd be like cornbread and whatever. Like there were a staple kind of thing that she would do. And she would sit down and people would pay like $2, but you didn't have to.
Just whatever you could do
for comfort. And then they would come in for lunch. And then as soon as the lunch was over, she would get ready and she would start doing it for dinner. And she did this. She did not make any money. She did not charge anything. I mean, clearly people were helping to support her efforts, but there was something just so moving about that sense of community again,
it's a beautiful story
about having them come in. But what really resonated with me when they're like, well, you should be charging for this. You should be, she's like, well, I don't want to make money. And the thing that she ended up saying, she's like, well, I guess I figured out how to want the right things. Oh. And I think that sentiment is really
lost.
Yeah. And I think, but I think like what a great time to remember
it is.
Than the holidays when people are stressing out about putting food on the table and having to buy presents and like getting the right gifts and like all that stuff. It's like, you know what? Strip all that away. What are the things that you want? What are the what are the
things that money can't buy?
Yeah, I mean, what are the right? Yeah, what are the things that you should want? Compassion, love, friendship, extending, helping others, like that. That to me, I think, is a really important spirit.
Absolutely. It is. I saw somebody on the social media saying, this year they've decided they're not doing any gifts. They just want to concentrate on other things. And I say that every year, maybe we should just not do anything. And then we're like, let's give ourselves a low budget. Let's just spend this. And then it's like, I get into the start ordering things.
Well, you just get really excited and you also like.
And when I get in. For Kathy, we don't have kids to buy for. I don't have parents to buy for. Our siblings, we do like a nominal thing, $50 something. But I wish I could be a little less materialistic, to be honest, about the holidays. But there is something about getting presents that, let's face it, we're only human. We love getting presents.
Oh, but I'm not saying not to get presents.
No, I know, but I'm saying I wish that I was less focused on some of that sometimes.
You're talking to somebody who my window of getting presents is 3 days.
Yeah, because your birthday's a couple days after Christmas, 3 days after Christmas.
That is my window of gift getting.
You have to get presents
in the entire year. Well, I don't, but I truthfully, I'm like, I don't know what I want. We do like a whole draw names thing for our family. And so like, what do you want? And I'm like, a pizza cutter? I don't know. It's like,
what do we want, especially after a certain age?
Well, not even what do you need?
Like 50. Well, exactly. What do you need when you go buy everything? I buy things I need. When I need them, I buy them.
Yeah.
And giving to charities, it's a good time of year to do that. Say we're going to divert some of our personal present money and do something. Well, no matter what it is. There's so many charities and so many worthwhile causes, whether it's animals or earthquake relief in Jamaica or a million other things that you can donate to. So
and especially when the federal government is pulling funds from all sorts of organizations.
Yes.
And there are some agencies and organizations that have been really, really hard hit that depend on these federal funds. And so it's
there's plenty of places to spread the love
if you can't afford it. So anyway, but it was just like carrying through this whole idea of wanting the right things that are not necessarily, like materialistic.
Right. I love that.
Which, again, of course, is the reason for the season. Let's not forget that this, in theory, is a very big religious holiday, which that has gone to the wayside, unless you're watching Charlie Brown Christmas, which Anthony Rapp
Never miss it.
So also earlier this week, just in kind of to talk about like a call to action, a call to kindness. Shannon Lynn Parker, she sent out a message from Equality Illinois. Speaking of people, if you would like to donate and do all the good work, that was just talking about like two flags and one purpose. And the two flags that she was referring to was, of course, the pride flag and the American flag, talking about how we, within this LGBTQ community, we identify with this flag and we also identify with the American flag. And that there are people who are literal soldiers out there fighting the fight. There are metaphorical soldiers, activists, people who are out there fighting the fight, people who are like Agatha Burgess, who are like opening up their homes to people in need, or opening up their kitchens. And I think that it just really resonated with me. And it reminded me of that documentary that we watched. It's very, very short. It was called Reclaim the Flag.
Yep.
You can find it on YouTube if you haven't watched it.
Excellent.
It's about 30 minutes long. And in the documentary, they talk about, they interview so many like folks in the LGBTQ plus community that are like just well-known folks. And they talk to them like, what is your relationship with the American flag?
Yep. Very interesting.
And they have kind of echoed what we've all talked about. Mixed emotions. How we know it, like the American flag is a really, really, it's an incredible thing. We have a very, very, we have a hard time reconciling with some of the more troublesome things that have happened in this country for us in order to become the shining city or whatever it is, But we are all still American. And patriotism does not belong to either party.
Not to one group.
To one group. And I don't know. There was just something that's just kind of resonated. Like, we are queer folks. We are also Americans. And we, as queer folk, must take our vulnerability and our strength and our resilience and remember that as we are moving forward as Americans. We need to come together as a community and to help.
And thankfully, Chicago is a city that does do that, but we can always do a lot more of it.
We can always do a lot more of that. But I just think, I think during the next couple of weeks, and as we head into this new year, just to really kind of focus on wanting the right things. So
amen to that,
there
Scott.
we are. And that brings us to the end of another show. I want to thank Anthony Rapp. Make sure you go see his show at Looking Glass Theater, and Colin Kelty of Stars and Garters. Go check that out. Devin, you are amazing. Thank you so much for all that you do. Paul, thank you so much for all that you do. Ellen Miller, thank you for all that you do.
Scott.
And I'm Scott Duff, and until next week, stay proud.